Hey everybody, I'm wearing black and I look kinda drab. This is very funerally. It's not a funeral video, just whatever. We're gonna go with it. We're rolling with it anyways. It's fine. It's cool. Let's get started. So this is a cool video because it is one of the very first ones that I'm filming that is based on you guys, on your recommendations from my Instagram and your questions. So this is really exciting for me. Something that, I'm finally getting a lot of good social media interaction. So keep on coming, guys. Keep asking me questions. Keep requesting videos because I had probably the most fun writing this one. So this question I had on Instagram a while back was a friend asking me what the oldest record of an art conservation project was. It was super interesting and very engaging on that platform, on Instagram. So I took a poll asking if I should do a video on it, and well, the public has spoken, and here we are. A brief history of the OG art conservation and restoration projects. Let's go. Now, if you've seen a previous video of mine, link in bio, guys, you might remember that we didn't really start seeing history as separate until after the Industrial Revolution. When I say that, I mean separate from our own time, something kind of passed behind us, something that is not part of our current collective thought. And that means before this, everything was just a continuation of the world. Because of that, restorations were taken for utilitarian and aesthetic reasons for pieces, and they were fixed and maintained accordingly. If we look at restoration and conservation works in a modern sense, we can pinpoint a very few projects that really planted the seeds for our field today. So it should firstly be mentioned that King Navin of Babylon, who reigned between 556 and 539 BCE, was really the first documented guy to undertake a massive restoration project. He left his capital for 10 years to restore temples, mostly to the moon god Sin. During these renovations, or during these restorations, I should say, he also conducted what are considered the first archaeological excavations. Cool dude. Much respect. And now if we jump forward in time to the Roman period, the writer Cassiodorus was a large advocate for conservation of Roman buildings. He wrote in his letters that greater attention must be paid to conserving them rather in planning. Of course, both of these examples can be interpreted as the old way of thought when approaching maintenance of old buildings, but the intentions were there nonetheless. It's not until the 16th century that we get a more unified agreement, with some considering the 1655 restoration of the Sistine Chapel frescoes as the beginning of the tradition of conservation and restoration of cultural heritage. Only 50 years after its completion, the ceiling began to show signs of decay, most likely from water damage penetrating from above. You could see the effects of saltpeter, which leaves this white efflorescence, and cracks were also forming, and it's said that these efflorescences were treated with linseed and walnut oil as they made the crystals a little bit more transparent. The 18th century is when things really started to explode, with larger projects underway and methods/professionals rising up. In 1762, Michelangelo Bellotti first attempted to restore Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. The paintings in the Spanish Royal Collection also underwent meticulous restoration beginning in 1735 following a fire, and they were undertaken in specially constructed studios, and the materials that were used were even documented, which is awesome. It's like a conservator's dream to have all this documentation for materials that were used. You have no idea. It's just... And in this century as well, painting restoration became an official separate profession in France. After this, conservation projects grow and grow as we become more aware of the aging of our cultural heritage. And we start realizing that we as humanity have really made some amazing things that are worth keeping around a little bit longer. Technical analysis and artist techniques and materials rises in the 19th century, and we start to engage with art and cultural objects in different ways. So instead of just creating, we're moving on to conserving and recognizing cultural importance as it arises and doing something about it, which is really cool. What started out as these few individuals that are recognizing things and trying to do something about it has turned into this global movement and universal awareness of all our achievements and what all of those have to offer to the rest of the world. So that is a rather long-winded answer to the question, but there you have it. So this is for you really to decide what you think is the first original conservation project based on your own view of history and your own thought. I am definitely going to be getting you guys more involved on social media, asking you more questions, making videos based on the questions that you ask me or the things that you answer and things that you want to see, because this was a lot of fun. It's really good to know what you guys want to see in my videos, what you guys are interested in learning about. So definitely keep messaging me. Write in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram to make sure that you are up to date with all of my polls, all of my questions, so you can really get involved with the future of this channel, which is really cool. I want you guys to be involved in this. I want you to be excited about what I'm putting out there, and I want you to look forward to things. As always though, for some extra resources and a brief write-up on what I just ranted about, click the link in my description below. It takes you to my website. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to put out videos as often as I can, and of course, stay dirty, my friend.